Are we gonna get it now? Yeah. Are we gonna sock it to it now? Yeah. Are we gonna die for our freedom? Yeah. Are we gonna cry for our freedom? Yeah. And then we gonna get our freedom? Yeah. Are you ready, Sage? Yeah. Sock it to a freedom fighter. Ooh.
Suddenly, we tapped at every level of the Negro world, the level of rage, of blind fury at the American social and racial system that could never have been conceived. Once the black people in the slums got up on their legs and defied the white police, a tremor, a shudder of self-recognition seemed to go all through the Negro world. And the middle class, as well as the lower class, suddenly said, we don't have to take it anymore. The rioters don't come from all levels, but the support comes from all levels. And increasingly, from the upper levels of Negro society, came the radical, militant ideologues, saying that forget America, white America is an irredeemably racist country, and that the only course for the Negroes is to bring about a final, violent, apocalyptic confrontation of black and white.
There's no such thing as a nonviolent revolution. The only kind of revolution that's nonviolent is the Negro revolution. The only revolution based on loving your enemy is the Negro revolution. That's no revolution. A revolution is loving. Revolution is hostile. Revolution knows no compromise. Revolution overturns and destroys everything that gets in its way. And you sitting around here like a knot on the wall saying I'm going to love these folks no matter how much they hate me.
You're going to sit in front of your television set and listen to LBJ tell you that violence never accomplishes anything, my fellow Americans. But you see, the real problem with violence is that we have never been violent. We have been too nonviolent. Too nonviolent.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. What's going on, my brother Anthony? I appreciate you for coming through. You know what I'm saying? I had to do another one real quick. And I don't plan on staying on here long, but if y'all want to jump on here when I talk about what I talk about, just let me know and I'll put the link out there. You know, and I do want to say this though, just if they do like take my channel down or whatever, you know, my backup channel is in the chat, you know what I'm saying? So y'all subscribe there and then I'll let y'all know what to do after that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put the link for it in the chat, you know, just in case they try to take down this channel or whatever. You will already know, you know what I'm saying, where to go to. So let me put that in the chat. All right, so you know, if they ever take my channel down, you know what I'm saying, that's where you know where you can go if something happens. It's right there in the chat right there. And then it's also in the descriptions, you know what I'm saying, for anybody who don't get the chat, it's also in the description. Because they used to give me a strike all the time, but for some reason they kind of stopped doing it. And I used that channel to make the comments. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, if anything ever happened, then you know what I'm saying, I'll be live over there and then I'll let y'all know from there, you know what I'm saying? But and while I give time people to come in, I know I haven't done the history thing, and I'm gonna get back to it. You know what I'm saying? I know it's one thing at a time. It'd be taking a lot of time and energy to do it, but you know, we're gonna definitely finish it. You know what I'm saying? And for me, you know, I've been stuck in like 1967 because you know it went down. You know, so I want to talk a little bit about history before I show what I want to show. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's the long hard summer of 1967. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we should like really do our research and just see, like, you know what I'm saying, the mindset that we were at as a people. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna be long on that. I just want to touch on it because I've been showing it. I showed the one in New York, but it was over 100 some cities, you know.
With the murders of so many of America's leading proponents of racial unity, the 1960s also became a time of intense civil unrest, with full-scale riots erupting in many of the nation's major cities. It is perhaps curious that while blacks and whites were engaging in bloody clashes on the streets of America, they were also fighting side by side in yet another costly foreign conflict.
Yeah, and the same one they locked up Muhammad Ali for, you know. Let me see. I didn't pick on him, but let me see. Let me go back. All right. So yeah, they was like, you know, it happened in over 110 cities. It was more than that, you know what I'm saying? But just think about the race riot. What's going on, Cassandra? You know, I wanted to just, you know, touch a little bit about history before we get into it. You know, this, like, for me, I think this was the last time that we as a collective was ready to fight back before we fell into this illusion of inclusion. You know what I'm saying? So like, imagine the Alabama thing going on in 100 cities, and then the next year, that's when Martin Luther King got killed, and it was even more riots. You know what I'm saying? And in 65, it was riots, in 64, but like, this was an era when black people's you know, fighting back. You know what I'm saying? I talked about the New York one, New Jersey. You know, of course, the worst one was in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? That movie, Detroit, is a movie called Detroit, is kind of based off of like what happened in the Algiers motel with the police at the time, right? So you see, you know, New York City, the riots that they had there, and New Jersey, North Carolina, Virginia. You see here in Minneapolis, you know what I'm saying? And it was the same thing, you know. That's why I don't want to play all of these, you know what I'm saying? You can look up more of it. Let me see. This was more the one from Detroit.
1967 was the third summer of the burning and looting of the Black Ghetto. This was Newark in July.
Yeah, 68. It was more actually in 67 than in 68. That's the crazy part, you know. They was like going in, like black people, like, you know, a lot of it was against police brutality, but you know, against like the same things that we face today. But this was when black people was together, ready to fight. You know what I'm saying?
In Newark, for the last time, we could still tell ourselves that the old answers would work. In Newark, Negroes were angry
What up, Afro Native World?
About the old evils, bad schools, police brutality, bad housing, lack of political power. We could still comfort ourselves in Newark that at least we understood the problem. More than we do.
And everything in there. I'm afraid of the people.
We have no business
I guess I should have
acting
wrote
surprise
down
at all.
Stuff like that.
Manhood.
Now, the black man is not going to be subservient. No man is going to be subservient. I am the father of my son. I must be the father of my son so that my son respect me. I am the man of my house. I can't sit here and let you give my son food. Then my son grows to respect you. He's not mine. The only things that are mine are those things that I am able to control and able to contribute. Out of me, this thing must come through my labor. If I don't expend any labor, then what I got coming is crumbs. You see, my black parents have done this to me.
Yeah, what up, Raw? Yeah, definitely, my brother.
In the past, they haven't gotten this pride. They have not learned that a man must be a man or he is nothing.
There are different ways to try to be a man. One is a job on the assembly line at Ford, making $7,500 a year.
Now, this whole thing started, right? Because, you know, he was talking about the Vietnam War. Now, the one in Detroit started because it was 2 veterans came back and, you know what I'm saying, they was having a party for them, but the police raided the place and like tried to arrest everybody in there, which was all black people. You know what I'm saying? So the black community saw it and they was like, nah, we ain't having that. So everybody came outside and then they start going in, destroying the police cars, getting, you know what I'm saying? And then a lot of reports of, you know what I'm saying, black people being snipers on the roof to protect their community. Like, that's what they won't tell you is like, at the time they would like make sure they would, you know what I'm saying, and nobody was allowed in. And these brothers who was coming home as veterans, right, just like we did for a lot of different wars, they were strapped up and they was not letting people just come into their community just like that. You know what I'm saying?
But if you're not treated like a man, but humiliated because you have a black skin, it doesn't mean much. A man has to have dignity, self-respect. These people are trapped. The white world identifies them as black, and the black world now scorns them.
Angry and determined that
Self-respect. They offer pride in being black, dignity in being black, beauty in being black.
If we are not allowed to exercise our freedom, then we will do whatever is necessary to gain our freedom. And if that means tearing up the community to gain our freedom, we will.
During the riot in Detroit, 40 an after-hours club. 4 o'clock and
midnight. All these was like they tear up their own community, but they tore down white-owned businesses that often discriminated against them. You know, the ones that, you know, now they'll just beat us up and all that stuff, but they tore all that stuff down.
50 to 70 people, I'd say.
And who was leading the meeting?
There was a young lady and a man leading. They were saying things that started the way they were, and it really had grown into a riot. They weren't really ready for it at the time, but since it had grown to what it was, they might as well make the best of it. They had a plan, but it wasn't scheduled to take off. They had no idea it was going to happen like that.
But they were going to put the plan into effect.
Right. They were getting little groups together, giving instructions on certain groups, certain leaders taking over and having the group go like onto Dexter Avenue, fellas in the movement.
All right, so you know, yeah, y'all can look into all of that stuff, but like I said, there's a lot of them. Even in Milwaukee, this because they was talking about it back when Milwaukee was having those riots, but you know, they had it back then in Milwaukee.
Issues that prompted the riot in 1967 still exist here today.
Julia Fellow brings us the perspective of a local historian who was there.
A police officer killed and 2 other officers wounded at a home set on fire, killing an African-American woman who lived inside. This was the one result of many incidents that spurred tension back in 1967.
Send arms, send guns to second and center.
Claiborne Benson with the Black Historical Society Museum is reading the police blotter from 50 years ago.
Pages and pages.
Violence spurred then Mayor Henry Meyer to bring in the National Guard.
Had a night of looting and burning and killing. And I have no estimate of casualties or damage.
People were terrified of, and they sense police against citizens.
Benson recalls when a member of the National Guard put a machine gun to his face when he was out past curfew.
It made me very frightened, and it made me realize what was actually happening.
At the time, he was 17 years old. Benson believes the tension has never gone away.
50 years ago, when the problems occurred, it occurred again with the Sherman Park incident, and it hasn't gone away. It still does exist.
This was in every city in America where black people was at, you know what I'm saying? Definitely, our ancestors did not play, you know? So sometimes when people say we ain't our ancestors, it's partially right, you know what I'm saying? Because they was down for the cause and they wasn't even finding ways to divide themselves. They was going after whatever they was going after, which is why they had to make the moves that they did to keep us in the situation that we are in today, you know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't like the non-justice stuff that really changed them. It was they start tearing everything up, and then that's when you start seeing all of these laws and legislations. Like when we say peaceful no justice, no peace, that didn't work back then either. You know what I'm saying? They was like tear everything up, and then they were like, all right, what can we do for your community? You know what I'm saying? That's the only way that anybody has ever listened to you.
Relevant to the destruction of the dormitories was particularly outrageous.
All right, in Texas, right? It was the Texas State University where the police shot up the dorm, right? They claimed they was lying, but they claimed they heard gunshots and all of that stuff. And they literally shot up a building. And this when they was trying to do the peaceful protest. It was all different kind of stuff going. Some people was doing the peaceful protest, and then the police start shooting at them. You know what I'm saying?
Inasmuch as it indicated some $30,000 worth of damages was done to property, most of which was the personal property of Texas Southern University students, the alleged offenders. We likewise find it inconceivable that the Houston Police Department was not guilty of a single indiscretion in inflicting the many personal injuries upon members of the student body.
Yeah, basically, the police investigated themselves and they found no wrongdoing in just shooting at a college building full of black college students, and they was innocent, right?
You have anything to say?
All right, so yeah, and I want you to see particularly like there's black men and black women just out here, you know what I'm saying, and to support them. You know what I'm saying? Black people was outside, you know what I'm saying? They went outside.
You have anything to say after getting out?
Yeah, it's a damn shame. It's a bunch of fools in here. And damn it, I think the whole damn police department ought to be investigated. No good for honkies. No good for honkies. Get that. Honkies. Yeah. And what they did last night, every one of them ought to be investigated. The whole damn thing. The honkies are no good. The honky's gonna get paid back. Honky. Yeah.
The three ministers were here that every avenue had been explored tonight.
Chief, were any of your officers given orders not to shoot at the people who were shooting at the police officers?
Robert.
No such orders were.
About how many men did you have out there?
I don't know at the moment how many were there.
Yeah, they deputized a lot of them and sent them out there with guns, by the way. But, you know, they always went back limping. You know what I'm saying? That was the difference.
Who assisted you besides the Houston Police Department?
The Harris County Sheriff's Department was on the scene with a number of officers.
What steps, if any, are being taken to avoid a recurrence of this problem?
I don't know that any steps other than those that we've tried so diligently in the past to establish. That is a line of communication, a complete open line of communication from any group of citizens to the office of the chief of police or the office of the mayor.
All right, so I'm not going because I could show y'all this stuff all day because this was going on everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Just look up a city, and it was likely, like in L.A., Virginia, North Carolina, New York, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Florida, Texas. And pretty much that's the whole point. Nothing has changed except for us and what we are willing to do to get what we need to be at. You know what I'm saying? That's the major thing that has changed. And this is a big part why they don't want you to know your history, because most of your history is you fighting back, and not just fighting back, but whipping their handpots. You know what I'm saying? Let's just put it that way. Right. And that's why we be like, I can't believe, because you cannot change like from a generation ago. This is the mentality, right? The police still like, oh yeah, well, we just send them out there, they do whatever, But anyway, now y'all forgive me for this next thing before we get into something serious, but I was just tripping off this, right? First of all, your boy Van Jones, right? I don't know if y'all seen what happened, but your boy just got booed out there trying to go to the. But first, I'm gonna play this.
There to go a little bit deeper,
because he's talking about black voters, and you know what I'm saying, because this is how they want us to change. Because around that time, LBJ did say, I'll have those N-words voting Democrat for the next, 200 years, and now it might be finally starting to wear off. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
Among black men, Trump actually wins by 3 points in this poll, 49 to 46.
Shocking. It's shocking. First of all, overall, the Biden-Harris coalition could be called the Humpty Dumpty coalition right now. Just falling apart. Just falling apart. The Latino vote on the ground, the youth vote on the ground, the black vote on the ground. This is not good. Now, there is a year to turn it around. The black male, that's a stunner. Black women have been in the lead, but black men haven't been that far behind. I think you've got a constituency that is losing hope and looking for change. There's a lot of the things that black men were voting for didn't happen yet. Nothing yet on voting rights. Nothing yet on police reform. Nothing yet on criminal.
What is this, 1967? He talking about voting rights and police reform.
Justice reform. So a lot of those issues that were important for black male voters haven't been addressed yet. And the economic pain is real.
Yeah,
Last thing I'll say is a lot of black male voters are non-college working folks. And some of the stuff that is non-college working, that's working for white working class guys, can also work for black working class guys. But you can't just expect for black men to stand in long lines, or black women to stand in long lines, get nothing done on policy specifically to them, and then stay in this coalition.
All right, now it's probably going to be short lines, you know what I'm saying? But the only reason why I brought him up, you know what I'm saying, because I want y'all to see this. He tried to go speak at a pro-Israel march talking about love everybody, and they booed him off the stage, and they was like pretty much like yelling, annihilate everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Stood with the civil rights movement.
And by the way, where has all of this history come? I ain't see no Nana Jew out there, except for the ones that they put in front of the peaceful marches where they had them running around because they didn't want to tear stuff up. Then you had like the white priest and all these, father this and father that black people love and all this nonsense. They was the ones trying to bring back the people to do peaceful things and get voters registration or whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? But now all this revisionist history where the Jewish stood, but the Jewish and the Palestinians stood beside us, like at the same time, in the civil rights era. Like, where did all of this happen? I don't know.
Rights movement. It stood with the civil rights movement. Walking arm in arm, facing death, going to jail. The Jewish community stood with the civil rights movement, and I cannot be silent when Jews fall under attack today. I just can't do it. And that's why I'm here.
So Van says that because Jewish people showed up for Black Americans during the civil rights era, he now feels compelled to stand with them now. Let me be clear.
Guy.
Right?
I'm a peace guy. I pray for peace. No more rockets from Gaza and no more bombs falling down on the people of Gaza. God protect the children.
God protect children. Let's end all the horror and all the heartbreak.
They said, let's protect the children. They start booing, like, protect the children. Boo.
All the horror and all the heartbreak in the Holy Land. Let's end all of it. Let's end all of it. But I'll be honest in closing. When I think about what's happening over there, I don't feel powerful to do something about what's happening over there. But I do feel powerful.
Said no ceasefire. It changed no ceasefire.
Here. Let's take a stand here against anti-Jewish bigotry. Let's take a stand against Muslims. Let's take a stand here.
Oh man, stop folding up there. Like,
let's take a stand here.
All them white shysters in the crowd, he started quivering. He started shaking a little bit.
Let's take a stand here against hatred. Let's take a stand here against hatred of all kinds.
Wait a minute. What did Van say?
Oh, shit. See, he got marshals too on his trunk. They're gonna demonetize all y'all anyway.
Here against anti-Jewish bigotry. Let's take a stand against Muslims.
He said we have to stand against Muslims. Okay, I am sure that wasn't a Freudian slip. I'm sure that.
Now the truth is, you know what I'm saying, he was saying Muslim hate, but he got nervous and scared, you know. But I want you to know, if you look that up, you know, there's a lot of I've seen like a couple of like Muslim people that kind of trying to use that against him, and they like, oh yeah, he definitely meant that, stand against, and then try to break it up, and like, you know, he's talking about hate and all this nonsense. So like, I don't know where he's at with this, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's doing. But anyway, let me talk about what I want to talk to you about. All right, now, yo, this is one of my old ones, right? My old videos. This is about the time where they kind of start hitting me with the blocked stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know, they started blocking my you know, channel and stuff like that. But I wanted to show you this because I wanted to show you an update on one of the things that I talked about 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Let me see it.
Those who remember.
Oh yeah, my bad. This is another because I talked about 1967 then too. You know what I'm saying? I forget which one this is, but I was talking about this then too. You know,
1967 as the summer of love may have forgotten what happened that year in cities like Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah, they called it the summer of love because that's when they did all that hippie stuff. The white people was getting high and all that. They called it the summer of love, but it was the summer of blood for us, you know.
Summer of love may have forgotten what happened that year in cities like Newark, New Jersey.
We will not tolerate violence. We're going to crush violence in this city.
For nearly a week, residents clashed with police after a cab driver named John Smith was beaten by officers of the 4th Precinct.
They started dragging me through the streets, and this evidently incensed the people of the community.
Things were such in those early hours of the riot that Governor Hughes brought in the National Guard and the state police to quell the violence of the first riot. When those troops and troopers were brought in, then we enter the so-called second riot, which had all the markings of a riot by law enforcement officers. And that is the riot that took the greatest human toll. That's when people started losing their lives. And that's when the riot became a national spectacle of violence and mayhem and sadness and destruction.
But when the governor rushed in with the state police, they pretty much assumed full control. Not pretty much. They assumed full control. And
because when I talked to friends of mine and stuff, and they didn't go out. My cousins, they didn't. I think 1 or 2.
Yeah, you know, there's only one group of people that need not to tolerate violence. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is the brother Elijah McClain here. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if y'all have heard about him or his case, you know, but I wanted to give you the update that had just came out about this brother that, you know, and I talked about this a long time now. If you don't know, this brother was just You know what I'm saying? He might have been a little eccentric, but he was a good person. He ain't do nothing wrong, you know. And the police, you know, stopped him just because he had one of those things, like kind of like ski masks, like mask things. And this isn't a time where they want you to cover up your face, you know. But his family say he wear it because he get anemic, but they stopped him because of it. And then the police, you know, not only like did all this other stuff, they called the ambulance, who then injected him with some kind of stuff that ended up killing him, you know. Now let's try to find out.
Usual, a passerby, their son was murdered.
He was a happy young man. He was always energetic.
Described as loving and unique.
Elijah McClain is a man who was never once arrested in his entire life.
23-year-old Elijah McClain's family now has to speak for him. In August, McClain was walking home from the store with groceries wearing a ski mask, which his family says was not unusual. A passerby called 911 saying McClain was acting odd.
Elijah McClain had no weapon, and that's what the 911 caller said.
Moments later, Aurora police contacted him.
They slammed him up against the wall, they tackled him to the ground, and they continued to terrorize and torture him.
Body cameras on 3 different officers dislodged, leaving only audio of the struggle.
And we hear him begging, we hear him identifying himself, we hear him saying, "I've got my ID, please stop, you're hurting me, I can't breathe."
Aurora police issued a statement saying McClain initially resisted arrest, something the family disputes. Police would not release video to the public at this time, but did let the family watch.
Now, don't get it twisted. This was the same. That's why they knew back then the firefighters wasn't their friend, the paramedics wasn't their friend, because they knew what was up already. The difference is crowds of black people would have been outside like, yo, what is going on? Let that brother go right now. And they didn't even have the internet. They ain't had, you know, whatever.
It was difficult. It was very hard to see how everybody reacted inhumane. It was like there was no real compassion or concern in the room.
Leading Elijah's parents to call for an independent investigation.
You will be held accountable for what you've done.
We do not think it's fair for those who murder with the badge.
Opposite of north. South.
All right, y'all can watch this thing if y'all want to.
Black mask. It's like a gas station on Billing Street on Colfax now. Okay. Is it like a ski mask or what type of mask is it? Yeah, like a ski mask.
Moments before.
Somebody called 911 on him because he was walking down the street, minding his own business, just came from the store going home.
With the fact that things will never be the same
Yo,
without
what
her
up,
brother
Bakari?
Elijah.
We got a call from the hospital saying Elijah had another heart attack. According to them, Elijah.
All right, so y'all can go back and watch the whole thing if y'all want to, you know, if you want to see. But I just wanted to give this an update, you know, here because this, okay, so one officer is quote unquote sentenced for this, you know. Yeah, I know they don't send out notifications.
Officers charged in the 2019 death of Elijah McClain, whose death in police custody sparked
In Colorado, by the way.
nationwide outrage. A jury convicting one officer, but acquitting the other. Our Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas is in Washington this morning with more. Good morning, Pierre.
Juju, good morning. Today, despite that conviction, Elijah McClain's family is still demanding justice in this troubling case. No crime had been committed, and McClain was not armed, dying because of what appears to be a tragic misunderstanding. Warning, what you're about to see is not graphic, but it is emotionally wrenching.
This morning, a Colorado police officer guilty of illegally killing Elijah McClain, a young man whose death shocked the nation.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Randy Rodima, guilty of criminally negligent homicide.
McClain's mother raising her fist as she left the courthouse, telling reporters she's not satisfied.
This is the divided states of America. And that's what happens.
McClain's mom clearly frustrated that Rodima faces less than a decade in prison and that another officer was acquitted in the killing of her son, who by all accounts was a gentle person who loved to play the violin and whose death raised serious questions about race and policing. The end of McClain's life all caught on chilling police body camera footage. His death, a tragic misunderstanding. It was August 2019 and McClain, a massage therapist, was walking home after buying iced tea from this convenience store.
Stop right there.
Hey, stop right there.
Police confronting McClain after receiving a report of a suspicious person wearing a ski mask. McClain's family says he wore that ski mask because he was anemic and often felt cold. Police grabbed McClain within 7 seconds of the encounter.
Stop. I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
The officers apply a chokehold. McClain tries reasoning with them.
I'm so sorry. I have no gun. I don't do that stuff. I don't do any fighting.
Yeah, it's disgusting. They straight injecting this dude with, you know what I'm saying, or, you know, he was like, yeah, I don't do any of that stuff, you know, and they straight shooting him up, you know.
Why would you touch me?
He's in pain.
I can't breathe correctly because...
And with that, Elijah McClain's life was soon over. Inspiring violent vigils throughout the...
Tell me what's the damn difference between 1967 and now. You're talking about a violin dude and this dude sitting here directing it, you know what I'm saying? That's the one difference, you know what I'm saying?
Inspiring violent vigils throughout the country, even though his music was silenced forever.
Forget all that, you know. Now, they barely said that, because they skipped right over it, that the cop was sentenced to less than a decade, which could be like 1 year, you know what I'm saying? Anything less than 10. So, you never know. Like, I don't know how much he is, but... So then, in the last couple of days, right, the other cops, you know what I'm saying, pretty much got acquitted, you know.
A jury has found an officer not guilty in the death of Elijah McClain.
See, if you listening to the stuff I was saying back then, you know what I'm saying, like I said that this was going to happen, and, you know what I'm saying, that's why I was also showing 1967, but, you know, I don't know.
Suspended Aurora police officer Nathan Woodyard was acquitted on charges of reckless manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide. He was the second officer to be acquitted. One officer, Randy Rodema, was found guilty of criminally negligent homicide and assault in the third degree. Now this sets up the final trial in McClain's death, the trial for the two paramedics involved.
Our legal analyst Whitney Traylor joins us this morning. Whitney, thanks for being with us.
Sure, good to be here. Good morning.
This trial was different in a lot of ways than the first two officers. One was that Nathan Woodyard actually was, a witness.
Yeah.
Was that key to the acquittal, you think?
Well, that's a debate that you can go back and forth because the first trial with the two officers resulted in a split verdict and they didn't testify. So here he did testify, and I heard Scott Robinson, our expert, come on, and he was saying that most defense experts or defense lawyers don't want to put their clients on because they may have a bad history or some felonies or whatever. But he said if he has an opportunity, he does like to give that up. That he wished he could have been the disagreement amongst the lawyers, but ultimately he tested.
Pretty much. Yo, it is what it is. All a bunch of white people saw him, you know what I'm saying? They had the jury trial, you know what I'm saying? They had an all-white jury and they got acquitted. Now, I want you to see what's about to happen with this officer who got acquitted and his payment for what he put in, you know, the work he put in for them.
The Aurora police officer just acquitted in the death of Elijah McClain could be in for a huge payday. Here's Mark Salinger.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Nathan Woodyard, not guilty of
As soon as the not guilty verdict was read in court, Nathan Woodyard was eligible to return to his job as an Aurora police officer. He'll be met with a lot of money if he puts his uniform back on.
He eligible to come back and was met with a lot of money.
Back on. When Woodyard was suspended in September of 2021, his salary was just under $85,000 a year. Even though he hasn't worked a single day since then, his union contract earned him a raise while he faced felony charges.
Now, this fool, while he was facing charges for killing this young brother, got a raise by like $15,000.
Charges. He'll now make $100,000 a year. He'll also be entitled to back pay that he missed out on during his suspension, with a total of around $200,000.
We are advocating and encouraging that the city of Aurora do not reinstate him as a police officer.
Omar Montgomery is the president of the Aurora unit of the NAACP.
And also, like, when I was showing you their contracts and stuff like that, when I was showing you why they do that, you know, they put it in there to get the back pay because they already know, you know what I'm saying? And they make sure that they're compensated, you know what I'm saying? Because they boys, and at the end of the day, you know, they're going to look out for each other. That's just what they do.
Of the Aurora unit of the NAACP. After Elijah McClain's death, Aurora Police entered a consent decree to improve training and policies. Montgomery is the co-chair of the Community Advisory Council guiding the consent decree.
I want to see the consent decree improve our public safety system in the city of Aurora. What I don't want to see is 4 young ladies on the ground on a hot summer day because of mistaken identity.
Now, all these black people probably go to Colorado to go to the football game, you know what I'm saying? But this is going on, so.
I don't want to see another situation like
Still can't identify or track which officers have use of force violations. The report called these problems at Aurora Police extremely concerning, while other parts of the report show
You heard it, like they can't even keep track of who does what, who violates who does what.
Pre-report released in October said Aurora Police still can't identify or track which officers have use of force violations. The report called these problems at Aurora Police extremely concerning, while other parts of the report show the department is making progress in areas like training and recruitment. Montgomery says
that we have a public safety system that we can.
All right. And this, you know, last thing on it right now, these are 2 white dudes who was the paramedics. Now they about to go on trial. So the police got off by saying, oh, it's the paramedics' fault, you know.
This has begun in the trial of 2 former paramedics charged in the death of Elijah McClain. A survey was given to prospective jurors today. The 23-year-old died after an encounter with police in which the paramedics injected him with ketamine. Jeremy Cooper and Peter Chuchnik are charged with manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide. You may remember former officer Randy Rodema was found guilty of criminally negligent homicide and 3rd-degree assault in McClain's death, while 2 other men who were Aurora
reckless manslaughter and 2nd-degree assault, you know what I'm saying, for injecting them. So, you know, they about to go on trial now. So, you know, you still in their system. So all I can say is, like, what do you expect at this point, you know? But I mean, you heard the people talking to Van Jones, no ceasefire, no ceasefire. You know what I'm saying? They all got to go, right? That's what they said. Now, this one weird. Remember I was talking about that white girl, Hannah Payne, and she was supposed to have her trial in, like, October. But I've been looking for it to see what happened. And, like, nothing is there. You know what I'm saying? It's, like, completely off the records from, like, you know, when she was supposed to have her trial to, like, now. It's, like, nothing says anything. So, you know, they got other people up there. I just thought it was weird because I was looking for that update in her trial, but now it's nothing to say then because she smoked this brother here. Only one way to train them, and that's to realize that they can't be trained. You don't negotiate with terrorists, you know what I'm saying? Now, I want to show you this, you know what I'm saying? I want these last couple things because, like I said, I ain't going to be long. If y'all want to say something, I'm curious to what y'all have to say about these last 2 things, you know. So let me play this.
Jonathan Lewis was a 17-year-old child, a white child that was beaten to death by 15 black kids.
Now, first of all, before I play this, you know what I'm saying? The dude is lying, right? Now, it sounds crazy to me because, like, think about it. 15 black children working together to, you know what I'm saying, do what needs to be done. It sounds great, but I don't know if it's true. And it's like, the truth is, it was, like, children of all races who beat down this dude, this thug, you know what I'm saying, who was stealing, you know what I'm saying? But this, I want you to hear how they politicize it and try to use them against us, you know, or try to use it as the propaganda, you know.
And the reason I'm bringing the race into this is because every time the role is reversed, the race is brought up. And every time the role
finish, let me say it.
15. Let's go. Jonathan Lewis was a 17-year-old child, a white child that was beaten to death by 15 black kids. And the reason I'm bringing the race into this is because every time the role is reversed, the race is brought up. And every time the role is reversed, their stories are shared. There are candlelight vigils. There are hashtag that kid's name. There are protests. There are everything. But when Jonathan Lewis lost his life doing something honorable, protecting one of his friends,
that's so honorable.
Nobody seems to care. There's no hashtag Jonathan Lewis. There's no justice for Jonathan. There's no marching in the streets. People just moved on like any other day of their life. But I know damn well if he had been an African-American child beaten by 15 white kids, you would not be able to escape this story. And that's what's so heartbreaking, because liberal media is so manipulative with what stories they share because it needs to fit the agenda they are trying to preach.
They say you've changed.
All right. I don't know. I guess that y'all pretty much get the point, right? So apparently they was like, this little white kid got beat to death, you know what I'm saying, by, they saying a group of black people, a group of black children, you know what I'm saying, jumped him and
look at, for instance, how
basically killed him, you know what I'm saying, they beat him to death. Right now, he was like, "Oh, some hero trying to protect," but apparently, I heard something else that it was headphones that was. See, we really gotta wait for all the facts to come out. You know what I'm saying, before we can pass judgment, before we can know what happened. You know what I'm saying. So I don't know.
The George Floyd situation was handled versus this child. That was a grown man who had made some mistakes, who did not deserve to die. So do not twist my words. But he was treated as some sort of savior after his death. There were portraits of him painted, murals of him, all of this stuff. This was an innocent child who had not had a chance to live his life yet, and nobody seems to give a fuck. Could you imagine getting that call as a parent that your child was beaten to within inches of their life? You watch the video of what happened to them, but there's not a goddamn thing you can do to protect them because it's already done.
Do you know what this is like, y'all? Can y'all ever imagine something like that happening? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a good question. Yeah, anti-racist, you know what I'm saying? And they be hating that dude, but he be saying that the dude Ibram Kendi or whatever his name is, he always say that anti-racist stuff, like, which is stupid as hell, you know what I'm saying? It's, how do you teach them not to be like, the question is, how do we learn how to be that? You know what I'm saying? How do we live up to that pole that they say they had?
You watch the video of what happened to them, but there's not a goddamn thing you can do to protect them because it's already done. Parents should not have to worry about sending their kids to school, right? That should be a safe place. I want to know why nobody stepped in, why no one defended him, why no one helped him, and why nobody is talking about it. Because once again, if the roles had been reversed, this story would be all over the news. Justice for Jonathan Lewis.
All right, so I don't know. He needs to go call Ben Shapiro or something. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to play this one because I guess he said it better than I could, right? Yo, now, I'm not going to lie. He got them like super tight in the comments, and I ain't going to front. This one was kind of funny. I got to play this one.
I know some of y'all can be a little bit sensitive when it comes to the W word. Having said that, here we go again. I don't know what to tell you, but seeing this victimhood complex on white people within the Republican Party, it is absolutely delicious. It's absolutely amazing because can we just, call a spade a spade? When it comes to a white victim, the only group of people who make this a race play are white people, okay? Can we just call it what it is? When it comes to a white victim and a non-black attacker.
Now, to be fair, like a long time ago, right? I think this brother used to say a lot of clone stuff, you know what I'm saying? But for a while, he has been saying stuff. But I ain't go front, like he was on point with this video when he was talking about it, and he got him like tight.
Can we just call it what it is? When it comes to a white victim and a non-black attacker, white people scream, "Oh, this is anti-white racism. It's anti-white racism." Are you ready for the flip side? When there's a black attacker or a black victim and a white attacker, white people make that about race. I don't know what it is, but they're obsessed with race, okay? No, you won't hear black people as a community talk about, "Oh, that's racist, that's racist." You won't have it. White liberals, who's saying it on the other side? White Republicans. They're the ones constantly making this about race. Even about, hey, the only way you win this is through, trying to do the race card of, freeing the blacks. So everything about the history of this country, everything about these group of people, once again, not all, has to deal with race. That's what it has to deal with. Black people just wanted to, we just wanted to work and get along to get along, right? That's it. They're was one group of people that wanted to make it about race. That's it. That is running rampant among, white conservatives, among white people. And it's nothing more than fear propaganda. What we know is nothing about the story. Who I'm referring to is this kid named Jonathan Lewis. He was 17. He's no longer here with us. And there's a video that's been circulating that is having people trying to create narratives from it. Now, the only thing we know, which is we don't even know it to be accurate, is from the GoFundMe for this kid. Like the parents are saying Jonathan was trying to stand up.
By the way, $74,000 already, y'all. Like, look at that. You know what I'm saying? For their GoFundMe, right? But $74,000 already. You feel me? And their goal was $25,000. 1.7K donations. So, and this one dude left his name. I guess y'all could look that up. Arnard something. Y'all can look that up if y'all want to.
For somebody, and because he was trying to stand up for somebody, now he's no longer with us. As far as the victim narrative, of these group of people and what we've seen before. Once again, I'm just coming off of a story about Douglas Mackey. That's what we're coming off with. Guy did the crime and he's crying victim. We're coming off of that from Ashley Babbitt. Woman did the crime victim. Bunch of stories of people who are guilty, but they're trying to be, presented in some type of victims. So it's not that, hey, Jonathan Lewis may have said something to one of the kids and, gotten the whole kids, upset at him. It's not that Jonathan Lewis could have done something to one of the kids and upset the entire group. It's not that Jonathan Lewis is ever in the blame. That doesn't even cross their mind. In their mind, they're innocent. It's, that's how they view themselves. And that's how they've been portrayed throughout history, mind you. Okay, so that goes in line with the post-traumatic slave master syndrome, which was what they suffer from. We don't know anything about this story. We have idiots within the base. There are a bunch of simpletons within the base, as we can see from January 6th, and acting foolish behaviors that only harm themselves. And if only they can, get their head out of their rectums, they would see that, hey, you're being got. Even in the video, mind you, listen to me, even in the video, you can see there are black teens who are trying to help the white kid. They're trying to defend him from the attackers. But yet, you want to know how these racists try to play it as? Oh, look at the black kids going after little Timmy. This is what they want us to be. They want us to accept this, and this is how we should.
That's why, I would have told the Moors, you know what I'm saying? Look, so what should they have in the death plague? So, hey, look, it's not your fight to jump in the middle and volunteer your face to save somebody who doesn't care about you. You know what I'm saying? That goes from local fights to, global ones,
should be treated. And I'm just like, are you guys not even watching the video? Have you guys been so freaking conditioned and propagandized that you're not even looking at what your eyes are showing you, that black kids were actually trying to...
Yo, Bakari, who's still there? You remember when the dude was like, oh yeah, y'all trying to avoid that brother who did what he did to the parade or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't trying to avoid it, you know what I'm saying? But Bakari, if you're still there, you can answer what he is.
Help this kid? That black youths, black teens were actually trying to defend and get the attackers off of him. That you're so filled with hatred, so much animosity for a group of people who have never done you any wrong. Never done you any wrong. The lineage of evil has done everything in their power to subjugate, oppress, and destroy. Just as the scripture says, kill, steal, and destroy. And that's what they've tried to do at every single front. To be aware of the race baiting that is actually going on. And that's what this is. It's
definitely race baiting, you know what I'm saying? We definitely need more time to see what is going on. And they're not going to talk about the difference, how these young people, right, even though they're all races, they're probably going to try to burn the young black children involved, you know what I'm saying? But we definitely need all the facts, you know what I'm saying?
Race baiting. That's what the whole terms that they misuse. Like even with, as I said earlier in the video, when it comes to the race card, they have taken these words and done the same thing that they accuse the liberals of doing, right? They want to talk about, oh, the just always 9 out of 10 has to deal with black people.
Now, because if y'all don't know, this is like top level trolling right here. Like, yo, he like be pissing them off, you know what I'm saying?
Just like, hey, we don't own CNN. We don't own Fox News. We don't even have a massive rep. I'm tired of you trying to use me as a scapegoat. Of you trying to use black people as a scapegoat. Yo, lift yourself up by the bootstrap. How about that? Can y'all do that? And I find it hilarious when it comes to the schizophrenic bipolarness of the white conservative. Because at one point in time, they want to say, hey, we're all Americans, okay? There is no black crime. There is no white crime. There is no Asian crime. There's just crime. And in a fraction of a second, all of that goes out the window. All of that goes out the window. And now you see, oh, look, this is anti-white crime. A white kid was attacked by a bunch of black kids. And it's like, wait, I thought we were all Americans. I thought that's what it was. And you see how quick they switch up on you. And this just goes to show you that there is a wickedness there. There is a evil wickedness that's still present that I think, I would argue.
Oh, man. Yeah, the brother who drove the car into the parade.
Lineage of wickedness that they have yet to get out of their gene pool. Okay, they have yet to address the wickedness of the nature that some of them have. And you know, I would say it's not even their fault because you have evil begetting evil that begets evil that begets evil. So there is no break to the cycle. It's a continuous loop until someone breaks it. So this story, I'll follow up with it. Okay, right? That's what they're doing. And they guys are both wicked people. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether I believe, look, here he is, okay? Look at the video, right? That's what they're doing. And they want us to be.
Yeah, now I want you to see these comments because it's so easy to troll them on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, all you gotta do is be like, yo, we need more evidence. Everything that they say to you, it just shows you, you know what I'm saying? They know, everybody knows but us, you know what I'm saying? The truth, you know what I'm saying? He said, oh, they murdered a kid. It's like, this is very tone deaf. That he was jumped by 15. He was standing up for a kid. They don't know the story of none of that stuff, you know. It was very wrong, you know what I'm saying? Somebody was like, yo, I'm very disappointed in you. Said, this is honestly disturbing. People like you is what's wrong with the world. These kids, no matter the race, need to be held accountable. There was no reason for that behavior. You live in a delusional world. And that was good old Stephanie. Right? If the races were reversed, you know. Well, that's an old talking point. It's like, you laughing about a child. Now, this is coming from people who dress up like Trayvon Martin on Halloween. Right? You laughing about a child who is now dead from this is disgusting, bro. Look, he shouldn't have been stealing, you know what I'm saying? We definitely need, oh yeah, the gaslighting in this video is real. But this is what I'm saying. Like, they might play dumb, but they're not dumb. We're the ones that need education instead of, you know how we always go, oh, we need to educate them and anti-racists, teach them how not to be racist. You know what I'm saying? They understand how the game goes, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them don't get it because you can easily troll them because they're so in their feelings, you know what I'm saying? So this is the most ignorant take I've ever heard. What a joke. You know, he's a hero, you know what I'm saying? And we don't know what this, you know what I'm saying, little white kid did, you know what I'm saying? If he stole like some headphones or something, like, or he was thug, we need to definitely do a background check before, you know what I'm saying, we make any judgment. It's that 17-year-old child dies and you make yourself a victim somehow. Ain't that something? right? So you see, right? It's just that they're too stupid to understand that the level of trolling was like almost like, you know, God level. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I want y'all let me know what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I need more information. We don't know what this little white kid did. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I probably have it. All right, now this other one I wanted y'all opinion on too, right? Because y'all girl Candace Owens, man, you know, she might win the Booker T. Washington Award. She might have been just selling them. I already knew that she was like scamming them, but you know what I'm saying? Now she's starting to get comfortable. I think she's gonna get her wake up call, but don't get it twisted. She's also saying what, you know what I'm saying, other, you know, heroes are saying.
Do a dive out. Now he looks like everything that they're claiming him to be, a Zionist. I'll say this once.
Now, so over in their world, right, you know, Candace Owens is like, you know, going at Ben Shapiro, but because Ben Shapiro is a shyster, you know what I'm saying? Now, Candace Owens is a black person, I think, you know what I'm saying? But or the fact that she called out a shyster, the one who says facts over feelings and all this nonsense, you know what I'm saying? And he in his feelings right now because he's trying to use the anti-Semitic thing, you know what I'm saying? Playing the victim card. Just like we just saw them playing the victim card.
And I'll say it again. I find it absolutely delicious that these saltines and these evil, wicked people, okay, like Ben Shapiro, would do a diversity hire for a black, non-black American woman to have her spew hatred and lies about black people, constantly deride and demean them. That's the reason why. And then
I'm gonna nominate her for the Booker T. Washington Award. You know what I'm saying? She was just using them to get that check so she can help black people, y'all.
To uplift white people. Think about this. However,
when it comes to finding the perfect rug for your home, there's only
with you, Candace Owens apparently identifies as a white woman.
Because as white people in this country on university campuses, we are being taught.
What is it that's caused you to have such self-loathing and self-hatred that you're so rejecting of who you are?
Who would have known? The hypocrisy.
All right, so hold on, my bad.
However, to be honest, apparently I'm
being taught. It
said we as white people
on university campuses, we are being taught.
Apparently identifies as a white woman.
Because as white people in this country on university campuses, we are being taught.
Hatred and wickedness. And then wanting to cry when she does it to the Jewish people, when she does it to Israel. Oh, God, it's just amazing. It's lovely to see. Okay, moving forward. All right, now advising her. Kundus isn't this smart. Trust me, I know. I've talked to her. I've seen her been given
She's
not smart. Okay, so quit. Oh, he goes out and says, hey, if you have an issue with the Daily Wire's money and it comes between you and God, maybe you should quit. Oh, that, my friends, is exactly what Candace was hoping for. That's exactly what this.
She might have been tricking y'all the whole time. This might be what she needed to do. I mean, y'all give other people passes. You give other people passes, bro. You know what I'm saying? She might get a Booker T. Washington Award. You know what I'm saying? Yo, to be honest with you, that lines up with that white nationalist thing. You know what I'm saying? They are against the shysters too. Even though they both groups of white people, you know what I'm saying? It's their infighting. But they do know how to put their whiteness ahead when it comes to us, you know.
This wicked Kundus woman was hoping for that Benny Boy would take the bait, and sure enough, he did. Now, here's the thing. Here's what Ben Shapiro should have done. I was going to say on my other...
She about to expose all these white boys, you know what I'm saying? She put herself in a position.
video, but I, in case of him watching, I didn't want him, to scapegoat out of this. Nonetheless, what he should have done was invited Candace to an interview, a sit down, AKA, a debate, and talk. Now, a debate. Now, oh, okay. You've been acting unhinged for the last few weeks, actually. And you know what? We haven't said anything, but to insert yourself in scripture, I can't let that.
She straight said scripture. She don't even believe it. She's straight like to insert herself in scripture. When we know that, the European Jews don't really, they would have died, right? They didn't have like suntan lotion and stuff back then, right? They probably would have died, and got like skin cancer. But she was like, yeah, she's trolling them, That's what I'm trying to say. Like, she was like, for them to put themselves in scripture, right?
Stand. Oh, shoot! Ooh, home run, baby. Candace, you have to understand, this woman is a liberal, okay? A liberal to her core. Everything from her starting the doxing website to where she is now. However, she's an opportunist, and you have to understand white people on the right are dumb. They are dumb and gullible. That's what they are. It's easy. If you want to make a buck, look at a right-wing channel, okay, and then you regurgitate what they're saying. That's all you have to do. They're dumb. They're very simple people, okay? Candace knows this. She knows this. Just like everyone else who was watching, like, yo, who are these people?
See, y'all don't remember when it slipped out because she liked this Super Bowl halftime with Dr. Dre and them, and they got mad. She had to apologize. That black stuff be coming out sometimes. Now, the thing is, she is scamming them, but that technically makes you a sellout, right? You sell out your own people for money. That's exactly what you are. Now, I never believed that she believed none of the nonsense that she's saying, but it doesn't make it no better or worse, But the point is, as she understands, like with her audience, the only thing that she has to do to make a living, and especially, well, hey, I'm gonna get a bag, I'm gonna have a kid with this white dude, I'm gonna get a bag, I'm set for life. But that's not really how it works, But they would enslave their own children. She a little bit lost on that point. But the whole point is, like, they make a living off of playing them.
Who didn't know that black conservatives exist. We know this, okay? We know y'all are dumb, bro. We also know that you also make up the majority of the money in this country, a lot of you white boomers. And best believe, many black people, many people of all races and colors and creeds don't have a problem feeding you what you want to hear as long as you pay us, okay? Unfortunately, that's where we are in this country. We have guns for hire. And Candace, that's all she is.
Now, there is a lot of black people that will sell out for a little bit of money, all right?
Is a gun for hire. Now, Candace has placed the ball in her court by saying that. And the comedy is, she is now going to leverage white people, but not only white people, certain sects within the white race who despise Jewish people, actual anti-Semitics. But now we have the shield of, hey, anything now I'm an anti-Semitic if I criticize Israel.
Bakari, I'll say this, like I was gonna show another one of Van Jones, right, who's also would be in that group, right? But when I see a white liberal, the most whitest liberal, father, whoever that y'all love, John Brown himself, I would never pick John Brown over any black person, even Candace Owens. And I'll tell you that right now. Would I help her? She lay in her own grave. Yeah, it is what it is. But when it comes to picking between them two, I will never see, like, that's the, like, on some black people first stuff. Like, I would never condone some white dude, liberal, whatever, John Brown himself, calling Candace Owens the N-word or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't condone any of that kind of stuff. So I would say that, you know what I'm saying? Oh, she's definitely scamming them, bro. Like, all of that is a scam. What do you think she does for, like, you know what I'm saying? That's what she do for a living, is a scam, bro. Like, her talking points reversed immediately and got hired. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was the Democrat. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was in that field trying to do it. Like, she got a whole history of scamming. You know what I'm saying? Hell, Jesse Lee Peterson be scamming their ass. You know what I'm saying? Now, you dumb as hell. You know what I'm saying? You still a sellout. You know what I'm saying? Will I help you or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you got what you deserve. You know what I'm saying? I don't condone anybody. You know, I talk about that all the time. Like, it's disgusting to me, like, for me to see a black woman with it or a black dude with them. You know what I'm saying? They children definitely ain't black. You know what I'm saying? But for her, is a still selfish thing where she see herself as an individual. You know what I'm saying? But she knows how to work her audience. You know what I'm saying? Like, to get paid from them. That's how she makes a living, getting paid from them. So.
It's absolutely genius. I'm not gonna lie. It's absolutely genius. Okay. She then goes on to
and she damn sure don't believe what the hell she says, bro. Like, they're talking about. She knows. You could tell that she's not, like, I ain't gonna say she's smart. She's pretty dumb and selfish and a sellout. You know what I'm saying? The clone, all of that. You know what I'm saying? But she knows what she's saying is BS. You know what I'm saying? She knows it. You can tell.
Him talking about, hey,
is a character.
All right, you're now saying that I can't quote scripture? Is that what you're saying? Bro, this is white liberal woman tactics 101, okay? The passive aggressiveness, check. The complete red herring, where did he say he can't quote scripture? You can't, what are you talking about? Check and check, okay? The whole, whoa, I can't believe this, what? Check and check. This Candace Owens is a white liberal woman, okay, in disguise. But here's the thing, you can't say that because the white audience is going to defend her. Why do you ask? Because she's defending white people. That's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. It's right in front of their faces, but they're so naive and gullible and want to be victims that when someone actually gives them the victim card, they take that. They take it, right? They snatch it. They so badly want to be, we're victims. I'm white. I'm being attacked. Someone acknowledge me. And Candace smells it. She, oh man, that smells good. Oh, I like that. And she's giving them exactly what they've been asking for. She then, guess where she goes? She goes to Tucker freaking Carlson, the biggest person who has the ear to white people on the right. Bruh, these are baller ass moves. I'm not gonna lie. Touche, okay? Touche to whoever is telling you to do this. Because Candace, I know you're not smart. But touche to whoever is guiding you, okay? Benny Boy got politically and intellectually outplayed by Candace Owens, an employee. Because you couldn't have.
Now, all right. So now her wake up call is going to come soon, right? If anybody want to come on here, you can say what you want to say. I'm gonna show something positive, all right? You know, I could have kept going with it, but I'm not. I'm gonna spare y'all. You know what I'm saying? But yo, her wake up call is definitely coming soon. You know. But yo, it's definitely a scam. Y'all need to understand that. It doesn't make it no better. You know what I'm saying? Like, just understand what it is, exactly what it is. People will sell each other out for a damn dollar, bro. Like, that's how a lot of this stuff, like, what do you think the black leaders was doing coming into our communities back then? They was just directed them, you know what I'm saying? Just like they have black people that, like, you know what I'm saying, to control the stuff. These people are like scammers, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? She went from straight Democrat to straight Republican overnight when she got a job, you know what I'm saying? And Tucker Carlson did the same thing. You know, when he was working on the news, he used to be the dude who asked questions, who was supposed to be the quote unquote liberal-ish one on Fox News until he got his show when Bill O'Reilly got fired. And then he started doing the same thing. You know, I'm just saying, man, if you study like what's going on, then, you know, you'll understand what's going on. But that was my question. How do y'all feel about that? You know what I'm saying? She about to get her wake up call. So I'm gonna show something positive. All right. If y'all want to come on here, let me know. All right, I'll put the link in there. But I'll show something positive. This sister did something positive here.
Cancer treatment.
It's not sorcery, but science that catapulted Dr. Hadia Nicole Green to the top of her class at Alabama A&M. She has a long list of accomplishments. The aunt and uncle that raised her were both stricken with cancer.
And I watched her go from being this strong, church-going, praying woman of God to someone who couldn't even walk.
After they died, she channeled her grief into her work, her research taking on a higher purpose.
Dedicated my life to developing new arsenal in the war against cancer.
And she has, inventing a laser-activated nanotherapy to target and destroy cancer cells while preserving healthy cells. It's proven to eliminate tumors in lab mice in less than 2 weeks after a single 10-minute treatment, with no side effects.
Groundbreaking.
All right, so this is sister who did something where it's been working so far, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just play a little bit of what she says she does.
To know about the laser activated nanotherapy that I've developed and the Aura Lee Smith Cancer Research Foundation. So I've developed this really breakthrough technology that's like the next generation of thermal therapies using laser activated nanotechnology. And the way this technology works is that I'm taking a near infrared laser that has up to 10 centimeter depth of penetration, and it's a harmless diode laser that does not cause injury to healthy tissue by itself. And I fabricated a patent pending design of my gold nanorods that are more uniform in shape and size than those that are commercially available. And the innovative part about this technology is the plasmon resonance absorption that happens with the absorption wavelength of the nanoparticles and the emission wavelength of the laser. So that when the laser excites the nanoparticles, it causes rapid oscillations that happen so fast that the nanoparticles heat up and provide a thermal injury to whatever it's touching. So we're able to deliver these nanoparticles through intratumoral injections. And with those intratumoral injections, we can control the distribution of the nanorods and limit them to just the site of the tumor.
All right, I'm gonna just play just that part for those of you who are interested in that kind of stuff, because I think that is definitely a good thing, All right, damn, hold on. So now it's like freezing. So yeah, man, I was just interested in one, but yeah, I gotta understand, they make a living doing that kind of stuff, and I definitely don't think she believes everything that she says. I would think she's a clone. Don't get me twisted, but she's a scammer. You know what I'm saying? She's scamming the people. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? If they want to give her money, so what? All right. So I'll put that in there, and then I'll let this be the last words here. Because I already showed something positive, you know what I'm saying? But we got to go out on something even more positive than that, because it wasn't just back in the day. Let me see.
Our military.
Hold on. My bad, I forgot. Yeah, of course it frees up. Damn. All right, so I guess I can't play that part. I was trying to show y'all something else on there. Go out on something even more positive, but
You have the right to take a picture of me.
oh yeah, here we go.
The coast.
Cause I gave y'all a pass on for the last couple of days on y'all though, but this is check this out,
What is it? That's a nice doll. That's a lovely doll.
Knock your ass out.
Ha 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 ha, and the little white kid screaming, you know what I'm saying? Now y'all be like, how you gonna teach that little kid? You know what I'm saying? She's screaming because she got a black doll. No, parent, ha 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 ha. Anyway.
Simon, get some real Step your game up, white trash. You want some unclean ass crackhead hoe? Step your game up. Call the police. They don't give a fuck, hoe.
I ain't calling no police, bitch.
Call the police. Weak ass bitch.
Dude, I'm gonna fucking call the police.
I know you
After
are.
you would call the police.
I beat your motherfucking ass.
You do not know where I'm
Talking about,
from.
are you serious? 75 cent white trash? You ain't got 75 cent. Broke ass hoe.
Bitch.
I don't give a fuck about that bitch words.
Shut the fuck up.
You ain't talking about shit. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck about that. Drunk ass hoe. You just better.
I'm not drunk, bro. I didn't even fucking.
Don't never touch me,
You
hoe.
fucking touch me, bro. I will.
You don't never touch me, hoe. I'm not playing with you.
You fucking
Let me get this.
scare
Let me get
me.
this one go.
You
I'm not playing
fucking
with you, hoe.
scare me, bro, nigga.
I'm not
Do
playing with
not
you.
fucking touch me, bro. Do not fucking touch me, bro.
Don't never
I don't
touch
give
me,
a
hoe.
fuck.
You mean to tell me I just did all that work? You didn't work but 3 hours. Right. I just did all that work. And how much you gonna give me? $10. $10? Yeah. $10? Well, what's wrong with you? $10? Get out. I'm about to slap the shit out of you. $10? $10? Bitch ass nigga. Fuck ass nigga. Fuck ass nigga.
All right, hold on.
That's fine. That's fine. I will. You said you was calling my name. Don't ask me.
Nobody likes listening to it. Don't walk up on me.
Yo, he in front of his daughter. The brother is in front of his daughter. Listen to his daughter.
Walk up on me. You're the one who invited me down here. Go back in there. What's happening? Go back in there. Hey. Or what? Or what? How about just fucking cool it on her? Or what? Like I need to fucking sock you up? Do it. I don't have to. I don't have to do it. Make your move. Make your move, devil. Make your move. I'm the devil. Make your move. You're the one talking all the
He
hate.
was like, yeah, do it.
Fuck that. You step on my foot. Come on, get your son. You might as well go. Well, just no. Don't get in this. Slap you.
Right, don't stop it, bro. Don't be like them. I ain't gonna say it. Don't teach them how to use no soap.
I got you on tape. Got you on tape, yo. Got you on tape, yo. Come on, move out the way. Move out the way. Move out the way.
You're the one talking hate.
I ain't said nothing to you. I said nothing to you. You open your mouth and talk to me. You open your mouth and talk to me. You open your mouth and talk to me. I ain't said nothing to you. You instigated this situation. You instigated. Now come get your son. Get your another. Huh? Take this up there to your wife. Get your son. Come on.
So they filled with hate.
I never practiced.
It's on tape. You see it. You see it. Black man, God. Easy. I turn my back on the devil. The devil can't do nothing to me. You understand? You assaulted me. It's on tape. It's on tape. You can't step on my foot. Straight up.
Violation of space.
It's on tape. You can't step on my foot. I met you with equal aggression.
It's not against the law. That's not against the law. You a big man. You about 300 pounds. I gotta go to the hospital. My foot hurt. Let's go.
Yeah, so shout out to that brother right there. All right, so yeah, man, I appreciate it. That's no better last words than that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, brother. You know what? Just because, man, this is something we don't see too often. I have to do it one more time, y'all. I'm sorry. But thank y'all for listening. Shouts out to Consider. Thank you, Consider. I appreciate that. Y'all subscribe to Consider. Y'all subscribe to Bakari. He running, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, he know he be taking up for him for real. But hey, I never Serena Williams, you know what I'm saying? She's the greatest tennis player, you know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? Jack Johnson, he won the fight. That's all I said is that he won the fight. OJ Simpson. I ain't never really said nothing about OJ Simpson, but the glove did not fit. I will say that the glove did not fit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, it is what it is. And she definitely scammed me. But shouts out to Afro Native World TV. You probably left. My bad, my brother. My brother Anthony probably left. My bad, bro. Raw. Shouts out to Raw. She probably still in the building listening, because I appreciate Raw the whole time. But just because I said the long hot summer, you know what I'm saying, we started with that. I got to do it one last time, and we're going to be out after that. All right. One more time. My bad.
Nobody likes listening to it. I ain't walk up on me, man. Don't walk up on me, man. Walk up on me. You're the one that invited me down. Go back in there. What's up? Go back in there. Hey. Or what? Or what? How about just fucking pull it on us? Or what? I need to fucking sock you up? Do it. I don't have to. I don't have to do it. Make your move. Make your move, devil. Make your move. Yeah, do it. Make your move. You're the one talking all the hate. Make your move, bitch. Fuck that. You step on my foot. Come on, get your son. You might as well go. Well, it's not. Don't get in this. Go. You slap you again. Go, Deville. Don't step in this vicinity. Go. You walk over. You invited me down. Go, Daddy. Step on my foot. Go, Daddy. Well, I like my space again. Come on, get your nose. I'm just gonna call him. Call him. I got you on tape. Got you on tape, yo. Got you on tape, yo. Come on, move out the way. You're the one talking hate. I ain't saying nothing to you. I said nothing to you. You open your mouth and talk to me. You open your mouth and talk to me. You open your mouth and talk to me. I ain't said nothing to you. You instigated this situation. You instigated. Now come get your son. Get your another one. Huh? Take this up there to your wife. Get your son.
Take it to your wife.
I never practiced. It's on tape. You see it. You see it. Black man, God. Easy. I turn my back on the devil. The devil can't do nothing to me. You understand? You assaulted me. It's on tape. It's on tape. You can't step on my foot. Straight up.
Violation of space.
It's on tape. You can't step on my foot. I met you with equal aggression. It's not against the law. That's not against the law. You a big man. You about 300 pounds. I got to go to the hospital. My foot hurt. Let's go.
You're one black. Facts, bro. Facts. Yeah, I love it. Exactly, considering. Yeah, peace, my brother. Afro Native World TV, my brother Anthony. Shouts out to all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I appreciate y'all for listening, man. And oh yeah, by the way, shouts out to Erica. She probably out there listening too. Shouts out MD2, Matron, Koku. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Yeah, my brother. Yeah, my brother Black Magus. Who else? You know, everybody else. Oh, Shanique in the building. Shanique, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Shanique and my brother Everett. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? We about to dip now, Shanique, but I appreciate you for coming through. But you know what, y'all? As always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're going to keep falling for anything.